It's hard to believe it's here again, and we're talking about softball and warm weather and everything like that. But it was a great week last week. Once again, I want to say thank you to David and Christina and President Nook for having the confidence in our staff to extend our contract and give us another 4 years to continue to build this program and hopefully take it to another level. But we got it kicked off this weekend for the spring 2020 season. Overall, I thought the tournament itself was very competitive. A lot of really good teams. I don't think there was one team that stuck out as kind of the front runner, the best team in the tournament. I think we kind of gave each other some lumps and had everybody going home with some things that they needed to get better at. And I thought that was a really good beginning to the season and what we're looking for when we start lining up teams for our Dome tournament, which is, some really good competition right out of the chute, kind of find out where we're at. And as far as our team goes, I really liked the way we bounced back. I thought we got better as the weekend went on. We took one on the chin on Friday. Didn't really compete like we wanted to. We got two really good pitching performances, but we just offensively we weren't able to get the bats going. We didn't have much of the intensity that we saw from our hitters all winter long. But we were able to rebound and get a split on Saturday, and then once again had some things that we could discuss after Saturday's performances, and had a little bit more of a mentality adjustment that we needed to make going into Sunday, and we really got tested in that first game against DePaul on Sunday, and we were able to fight our way back, and that's exactly what we talked about on Saturday, was having a little bit more grit about us, a little bit more fight, a little bit more quit worrying about myself and my own performance and, locking arms and trying to win a game. And that was our number one focus on Sunday, and we were able to come out with 2 wins and I think cap off a tough weekend, but put ourselves in a position to move forward. A couple of highlights from the weekend. I think the biggest one is Sammy Bunch becoming our career home run leader. She tied it up at 30 with her first home run of the weekend and then broke the record. And I think the ticker is now counting as how far she'll be able to take it this year. I mean, I think there's not a ceiling in sight of where she could take that home run record this year. She just really had a really good opening weekend. Led us in really the first 4 games, did a great job, but I think that's the biggest highlight is we have a new career home run queen, and it really kind of overshadowed a great weekend that Hannah Kelly had at the plate. You look at her statistically for her weekend stats, she was almost 450 hitter, and I can't think, six extra base hits, I think it was, and just really even her outs were loud outs, balls to the fence that got caught, and I think if we were outside at our home field, she probably would have had 6 home runs this weekend. So really did an outstanding job at the plate. And then a number of really good performances in Sunday's 2 games. Hopefully we'll have more people to talk about for great weekends going forward, but those 2 really stuck out offensively for us. And in the circle, felt like we competed. I think there was a lot of question marks going into this year. How would Erica Oler do as a starter? Had a rough go of it her freshman year as a starter. Did a great job out of the bullpen, but one of her goals was to give us some quality starts this year, and she showed that she could do that. Got 2 wins this weekend. Really did an outstanding job all weekend for us. And then our freshman Sammy Heyer pitched 3 really good games this weekend. Did a great job. Got better as the weekend went on. I think there's a lot of good things to see from her going forward, but was really happy with how we pitched the ball this weekend. Kept us in every single game, kept us in games when our offense wasn't clicking, kept it close, gave us a chance in some of those games, and we were able to fight back. So I think a lot of good things to come from our pitchers, and I know they'll continue to get better as the season goes on. They get some experience with some different adversity. So like Jarek said, we're going to Arizona this weekend. We've got a tough task. we're going to see what we're made of. I mean, we've got some bright lights. We've got some big stadiums. We've got a lot of fans, and we've got two of the best teams in the country, along with two really good teams as well. So there's not going to be a game where you feel like you're going into it, looking for that win. Like, it's going to be a grind every single game, and we're excited about it. We love the opportunity to go up against the best in the country. I think not only does it give you a chance to beat them, but it also gives you an opportunity to see where you need to get better and where you need to what you need to do to line up with those teams, and that's our ultimate goal. So it's going to be a fun weekend, and looking forward to it. Any questions?
When the season started, Ryan, did you think offensively that would be the strongest part of your team, or pitching, or equal for both phases?
Felt really good going into the year with just a lot of experience. We had 8 seniors, a lot of kids that have played a lot of innings for us, and it was across the board. It was middle of the lineup, middle of the field defensively, an outstanding pitcher. So we had all the elements right there going into it, so we felt good about it. I think this weekend it was just a matter of those kids not playing in a competitive situation like that for a long time, and they just kind of had to remember how they handle it. And I think that was the good thing with our upperclassmen. It didn't last as long as it could have because they've been there and done that, and it was just a matter of getting back into that competitive mindset of how to handle adversity, how to handle the failure, and that's really tough to replicate in the cage. But I felt really good going into it. I think we started off and got an eye opener, and I think this team will respond extremely well because of the senior leadership that we have.
How do things play differently now? Because the weather's still going to be warm, obviously, but now you're moving outdoors. So how does that change how the game is played, or does it?
I think it'll change a little bit. Like I said, I think offensively we probably would have had 8 to 10 home runs this weekend if we were playing outside. The air has a factor in the game when you're outside. But as far as the game's played, it's not going to change anything. It's just a matter of we look at these first 25 games as preparation for the league, and we've got to put ourselves in as many difficult situations as we possibly can just to find out what we need to get better at. When it becomes post-game talks after the game is, hey, great job, or let's get ready for tomorrow, like that's where we want to get to by the time we get to league play so that we can face as many different scenarios of adversity and get ourselves ready for that grind of the Valley. That's our goal in the first 25 games. So, going outside, we always do it every year. So, going outside against the teams that we're going to go outside against, I don't know if it'll have a huge factor or not.
I know it's early, but what did you find out about your pitching staff? Is there any separation there? Has anybody kind of emerged as your number one? And Jacqueline Spencer only worked 1 game, 6 innings. What's her situation?
Well, I think it just kind of put a stamp on a question mark that we had. I think, Erica's question mark, it wasn't can she compete? Or is she talented enough? It was, can you come out of the gates and give us 7 innings? Can you come out of the gates, give us a good start to a game? And we were able to check that box, and that question mark now is a check mark. And I think Sammy Heyer, same thing. We felt she was going to have the talent and the ability to do what she did, but you just never know how freshmen are going to respond to the spotlight and to the intensity. And I think we were able to check that question mark off and add a comment to that, as I think the bright lights make her better. I think what she saw in practice and what she does in practice and what she did against her own teammates in the offseason, it was a step down from what we saw this weekend, and I think that extra competition factor makes her better. So that was a good thing to see. And we all know what Jacqueline's going to be able to do and what she brings to the team. So I look for really good things from our pitching staff now after seeing what they could do this weekend. Good. Thank you.